Okay, so we're recording. So hi, everybody. Thanks all for being here. So this is a Zenler group training. My name is Aran Bukai. My business is .com Truths, which my goal is to give honest guidance on how to start and grow an internet business as a side or full hustle without the marketing hype. This is a pitch-free training. There's no webinar. There's no stack at the end. There's no offer at the end. It's just going to be straight training, okay? Now, how to make the most out of this training is obviously, ideally, you do it on desktop as opposed to a mobile, so you can actually see my screen. Also, save my email to your contacts because I will send the recording and I'm going to go fast and you might want to refer back to different things. And I'll upload the replay to YouTube. So it's not going to expire. You don't have to pay for it. It's going to be on YouTube and you'll always be able to refer back to it. And obviously, you can take notes as we go. Now, in terms of the learning curve, I want to focus more, I guess, on the strategy and how to build a website as a business owner versus the technical stuff. I'll do some technical stuff as well to kind of make your experience a bit easier. But I want to just go through how I find my answers because I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything really, except for, I guess, the CEO, and I'm sure he forgets sometimes. But the 5 steps that I go through. Number 1, I search the Zenler support documents. Number 2, I search for threads in the Facebook group. Number 3, I search for threads in the Facebook group. I forgot to change it. I post. Hang on. There you go. My slides are search for threads, search for supports, search for threads. If I can't find the answer, I post a question. And if I can't find the answer, I will email support. Okay. So here is where you do the support documents. You always have it right at the bottom on the right. Okay. That's in Zenler on pretty much every page. You have a little help button. And if you can't see it, it's under the site. Okay. So you click on the help and it will actually take you to this page right here, okay? And here you can actually search for things. Now I'm gonna teach you something that on how to actually search for things so you don't get frustrated. Don't ask for big questions, ask for a specific keyword. So if you wanna get an answer to, for example, something to do with a domain, okay? You will simply type the word domain. Don't type a whole question because you'll have a less of a chance finding what you need. Then you can actually look through the answers quickly and see the one you're looking for. If you want to find something to do with courses, search for the word courses, and then you'll see different things. If you want to know something about email automation, type email automation, and then you can look at different things like that. Import leads. If you want to bring in leads from another software, again, import leads, right? Or just type the word import and see what comes up, okay? So that's just a really easy way to do it. And really, it's the exact same concept in the Facebook group as well. And basically, you go to the Facebook group and you go here and you do the same thing. So import leads, for example, and then look through the different questions because you probably will find that the question has already been answered, okay? That's just the fastest way to get answers found, okay? So that's the group. Now, let's go through the Zenler back office. Now, you probably, I'm assuming everyone has gone through and you've seen the back office. Now, this can be a big mush of a lot of moving parts that make no sense. So all you visual learners, which I'm sure most of you are, I want to kind of visualize what the hell all this means and where does it fit in your strategy and everything. So first of all, you got to take back to what is Zenler. Zenler is an online course creation, delivery, and marketing platform. Okay. And you want to think of it as a sales funnel. And a sales funnel is, don't think of it as pages. Think of it as a concept. Okay. There's really 2 parts to the sales funnel, which is your business ultimately. There is the marketing machine, and then there is the content delivery. And if you look at all these features right here, you just have to figure out where do these things slot in? Where does the community slot in your funnel? Where does the blog fit in? Where is the email marketing fit in? Okay, so here is an example of something that I laid out. So anything like the lead magnet, the lead generation, asking for a freebie, asking for the email address, the landing page, that's all part of the marketing machine. The home page, that's part of the marketing machine. The about page, that's part of the marketing machine. Now, obviously, this part is the pre-customer, okay, and the pre-sale, and this is the post-sale. This is what the difference is, right? Blog, okay, that's, again, it's the same thing. It's all about the marketing machine. That's what it's for. The email automation, the broadcast, the upsells, the downsells, that's all part of that. The content delivery is where do you have like, okay, community, your video content, your PDFs, your worksheet. Do you drip content? Do you have email automation? Now, the difference between email automation here and here is you can set up in Zenler, you can set up email automation. So when somebody downloads your freebie, which I'll show you shortly, and you want to follow up, you simply, what you do is you then send automatic emails that engages them to come and buy your product, go to your sales page or whatever. This email automation is set up in a way where, let's say somebody completes a lesson or a module, you can trigger an email that says, hey, Joe, congratulations on finishing your lesson. So exciting. Would love to see your reply to this, to what you learned from it, or click this button to go to the Facebook group and share your wins from this lesson, right? So that's, again, that's all part of using the email automation for the content delivery. The broadcast, the same thing, same concept. One is for selling, one is for engagement, and then the login page where people log in to come back to get your and consume your content. Now let's look at a funnel visualized in a bit of a different way. So the funnel, really, you want to get people at the top, which is many people, and to the few, okay? And the process is you know, like, trust until they buy. That's kind of the process. And this is the marketing machine, and this is the content delivery. Now, the funnel can get a bit of a bad reputation because it's like just a money grabbing machine, but it's really not. If you actually understand the funnel, the most important part of the funnel is actually right here at the very bottom. Once they buy, that's when you spend even more time and energy delivering something epic, transformational, and continue to help them. The funnel does not end when they buy once, okay? That's really important, and that's where the content delivery is all about, okay? And that's where the thought process of whatever you set up, always visualize what are you addressing? Are you addressing the marketing machine or the content delivery? And they're both just as important, really. This I would say is even more important, but obviously this never happens without this, okay? So they're both important to that degree, okay? So I hope that helps on the sales funnel. I want to just kind of explain visually what it actually means, okay? If this was helpful, give me a little thumbs up so I know everybody's like all tracking so far. Yeah, okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now let's talk about selling simplified, which is really the marketing machine, okay? You got to think of your prospects. I mean, they're at point A in their life right now, and you want to take them to point B, okay? Now, right now, they are not moving over to becoming a client because either they're scared, there's some fears they have to overcome, they don't trust you, okay? Maybe they don't trust themselves. Maybe they lack confidence in the fact that it's even possible. Maybe the pricing is not right, or the pricing is too expensive. Maybe it's too cheap. Maybe they need payment plans, all that stuff. Maybe they've got limiting beliefs. They don't think something can be done. Maybe they've had past failures. Maybe they've got questions, and maybe they need a bit more social proof, okay? These are all the things you want to figure out. How do you address these elements as part of the marketing machine so you can get the confidence up so they're like, okay, great, I want to work with this person, okay? And this is the section where you actually do the content delivery. Is it done for you service, done with your service? Is it done for you service? Is it video content? Is it group calls, one-on-one calls, software access? Now, you would have noticed, for example, with Zenler, let's just go back to Zenler for a second. I'll just show you. You see here, you've got live right here, okay? That's obviously, I'll click on the button and I'll show you a couple of things just to give you a bit of understanding. So live classes, for example, this is the live classes you do with paying clients. That's the difference between this one and this one. So this is part of the content delivery section. This is part of the marketing machine, okay? This is kind of a combination of both. You can use it for both, but that's just kind of to visualize what it is. The community is obviously part of the marketing, the content delivery. That's what that's for. Email broadcast is for both. Marketing funnels is obviously just the marketing machine. That's what it's for. And then I'll show you a couple of things there on there shortly. And this part, again, is part of the content delivery as well. Okay. So that's that. Oh, and then the dashboard, you've got, sorry, not the dashboard. You've got the blog that's also part of the content delivery, the marketing machine. Okay. So now, everything that you're doing, whatever it is you're setting up in Zenler, you got to think of your what I like to call the strangers to customers process. Okay, somebody comes to you right at the beginning and they don't know you. You know, who the hell are you? All the way to I want to work with you. Okay, and all your content needs to be in alignment with that. Step 0 is always to capture their attention, okay? Now you would do that on social media or paid advertising or whatever. Step 1 is once you've got their attention, what do you want them to take? Do you want them to go visit your website? Great, so they land on your website, that's nice, but what do you want them to do, right? Do you want them to download a PDF? Do you want them to book a call? What is the actual goal that you want them to do, okay? Usually you want to get a very, very easy goal, okay? Because obviously if they just went to your website for the first time, they ain't gonna pay $9.97 just because they landed on your website. That's just not gonna happen, okay? So you wanna give them something really, really easy that is very low commitment, and that's where the lead magnet comes in, okay, the freebie. And then from there, it's what is the remaining steps to take them through, all right? Now, every part of your website, think of it as a funnel. It doesn't matter if it's the about page, or it's, in my case, tools, or if it's a free or reviews or blog. Every single one of them is ultimately just a part of, it's just another small mini funnel inside your website, okay? Where you've got some piece of content, and then there is always a learn more button of some sort, or a lead capture, which gets followed up with an email sequence or to a sales page, okay? So everything you build on the website, think of it visually from a funnel perspective, okay? And I'll even show you a really easy example. Like this Zenler call ended up because I did a post. I didn't expect to have 330 freaking comments, okay? So that went a bit mental, and I didn't expect it. But once that happens, you got to think about, okay, what do I do with these comments? How do I do something? And the best thing I do is I literally sketch it out. Don't go to the software, just sketch it out. Get a piece of paper and sketch something. So I was like, okay, I need a Zoom registration page. I need a Zoom meeting page. Afterwards, I would like to get a survey done so I get some feedback. And then obviously here I've got the first email, the second email, okay? The email will be the replay. The second email will be the replay, which will take people to my YouTube channel and so on. Again, it's all about visualizing who is your audience, how do you want to serve them, and where do you want to take them? What's the journey? And if you have this mapped out, you can actually write the steps based on that. And then you don't get lost. I know that people get lost so easily when they open up Zenler or any other software. It's really easy to get lost, okay? So this just shows what I did. The red, I didn't even do any of this yet. I didn't have time, but anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so I kind of went through that already. The funnel formula is who do you want to serve? Where are they? What lead magnet, freebie you want to give them, and what result you want to give them. Now I had a slide on lead magnet, again, which you can take a screenshot or come back to it. I'm not going to go through it too much. But basically you got a lot of different types of lead magnets. The goal is simply to give your potential ideal customer something of value in exchange for their contact details so you can follow up, okay? I've got 3 rules for it. Number 1, it's got to be interesting to the ideal customer, something that invokes some sort of curiosity. Number 2, provide quick and fast value, something that's helpful. And 3, something that actually ascends the relationship, right? What I mean by that is you generally want to have some sort of call to action at the end of the lead magnet as well. If you want them to, get on a phone call with you, great. That's your call to action at the end. Have some sort of call to action at the end so you can continue to grow the relationship. Now, whenever you hear opt-in page, squeeze page, lead capture page, landing page, they all mean the same thing. It's just that first page where you capture someone's details. So here's an example of just a lead capture page. Headline, little bit of info, name, email, phone number, and notify me. Okay, this is just a waitlist page, really simple. Okay. Now let's go through some Zenler things. Okay, so first of all, there's questions that I know people have, like the domain, choosing a domain and how to set it up and stuff like that. Okay, so again, you simply go to the support documents and you search for the domain. You'll find the different support documents. And then if you have questions like, okay, what name to choose and what is a domain name, what is a subdomain, what is, all that stuff, I actually have an FAQ, faq.aroundbukai.com. You can go search for domain, and I've got different answers for all these little technical questions that, you probably hear about, and you're like, because you're going to read this support document and you're going to be like, okay, I don't even understand what the hell you're talking about. Okay, that's what's going to happen for half the people listening to this probably. That's what happened to me. So I've got a bunch of questions here which are answered. Okay. Now I will do a little demo just to show you me setting up my domain and just to show you how simple it is. So this is the back office. You want to go to custom domain. You want to then choose what the domain is. In my case, I'm going to make it a subdomain, Zenler zenler.com truths.com. Okay. Then you click on update. Then you want to click here and right click it, and it will open the support document. Okay. Now, once you, then the instructions, you can read the instructions on your own, but I'll show you what the instructions basically say. They basically say to take this domain that you created. So in my case, it's eranbukai.newzenler.com and set it up right here. Okay. So in my case, I use domain.com. I set up the subdomain, which is Zenler, and then I point it toward this domain, eranbukai.zenler.com. I click on save, and it's set up. Okay. Now it's not, I'm not logged in, but that's exactly the process. Now, what you do is once I've done that, I click here to confirm. It says 24, 48 hours. This shows that I did it correctly. And I need to now, if I don't hear back in 24, 48 hours, I need to just email Zenler support and ask them to check it out to see if I did it correctly. Now, I'll tell you half the time, I don't do it correctly myself. And I always just go back to the domain provider. I go to their support. I open a live chat and I say, here's the support document. Here's what needs to be done. Please do it for me. And I ask you just have them do it for me. Okay. So don't get too hung up on trying to figure it all out on your own. I just literally just go to support and have them do it for me. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back to the slides. Okay, let's go back. Let's go through some Zenler things here. So on the branding, this is a very good, this is a very important part for you to have consistency on your website. You want to have your logo, your favicon, and I'll show you what that is in a second. You want to choose your fonts and you want to choose your branding colors. Okay, so you could see different branding colors. So for example, these are the branding colors for the header, which is the top of your website. Okay, and background color is obviously the background. It's self-explanatory. The link, i.e. what's the link, that any link, what's the color going to be? The link hover means what's the link color going to be when you put your mouse over it, because that would be different. The text color, the button color, the hover, same thing, button hover, and so on. Then this is the footer branding, the body branding, the player, and the community colors, the page background, the blog. So you can customize all of that. And this is in the branding section. What I have, just so you can see, in my branding, I actually have all my branding written down. So I know my orange color, my dark orange. I've got other variations of my blue and other variations of other colors as well. So you could do all that. Now, you might be asking, somebody might be asking, what the hell is a favicon? Okay. Favicon is just those little things right here. So this is the Zenler favicon. This is my favicon. This is Facebook favicon, Zoom, Canva, Gmail, and so on. If you want to create a favicon, go to favicon.io, upload your logo, and click on export, and it will give you the favicon at the exact right size that you need, which is 32 by 32. Okay. And then you simply go back to Zenler right here. You click on upload, and you have it right here. Okay. Now let's go through the next thing. Media library. This is an incredible hack. And Zenler, I got to give huge praise to Zenler. They've done an incredible job with the media library. They've got it better set up than Kajabi and Kartra and everyone else, honestly. What you do is if you already have your PDFs, your images, you know, pictures of you, pictures you want to use, stuff like that, all in your videos, you simply go to upload files right here and you dump all your videos, everything. Just dump everything there. Because what will happen is that when you're going to then go, once it's uploaded, because what's going to happen, you're going to upload it, you're going to wait. It's going to take a while to upload. So dump everything, keep doing work, go have a coffee, go cook, whatever you want to do, okay? And then when you go to actually set up a course, you're going to go to set up a course, and I'll do a demo. You can all customize and update all that later. You'll see that, let's say I want to add lesson, and the lesson I want to upload a video. I'm not going to have to upload a video. I'm just going to go to the library, and everything that I've uploaded is already dumped there. So I could literally just click on select, and the video is uploaded immediately. So if you just dump all your assets immediately, once you get here, you could do it like bang, 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 like so quickly. I did that as a test with one of my clients, and we set up a 4-module course in literally 10 minutes. Because it was all here, and all we did is customize the name, put the lessons, and so on. Okay, so that's how you can make it really, really efficient. Okay, I call it assets. If you have your assets ready, that's how you can really speed things up. Okay, focus on one step at a time. Get your assets ready, upload them, and then structure them at the end. Okay, that's what worked for me. Obviously, you could have your own style, but that's what worked for me. Okay. Now, let me take you through this course content. While we're here, let me explain to you the differences. Okay, so video, there's a couple of options. You can obviously embed a code, like you can put a specific code from somewhere else, like Vimeo or whatever. This is the actual, you upload the video straight to Zenler, or you can upload it here. Now, this is one video. Now, audio, it's the same thing. You got the audio library, okay? And then you upload the video, same concept. PowerPoint, PowerPoint is, yeah, you upload a PowerPoint. I don't have one uploaded. And then you've got PDF. Now, this is very important. PDF, there is a very distinct difference between a PDF and a download. And I'm going to show you something here. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to upload those two things. So there you go, sales page outline. I'm going to preview this course curriculum. This is the preview section. So you'll see here, the video is going to come up. Okay, now the video, under it, you'll see the PDF. Now the PDF, you can actually watch, read the entire PDF. Your student can see it, but they cannot download it. They could just see it. Okay. Now the way for them to see it, to be able to download it, is you have to upload it as a download as well. So there's a very distinct difference between the feature of PDF and the feature of download. If you've ever uploaded a PDF and your student is like, I can't download it, that's exactly why. So you can just, if you want them to download, click on download. If you want them to only see it, click on PDF. If you want them to do both, do both. Okay. Quiz. So quiz is really good. Demo quiz. You can choose to give them, make it graded. Now the grade, you can basically give them like 80% or 100%. So they basically have to pass before continuing. And you got to click on pass this quiz before continuing. Click on add. And then here you've got the different questions that you can actually decide. So you can do a multiple choice question. You just drag and drop it. Obviously put the questions. So what fruit do you like? You can put a description for the thing. You can then give the answers. Okay. So apples, pears, bananas. Okay. Now, then what you do is you got to click on the correct answer. So let's say the correct answer is pears. You're going to click on that. And then you save changes. And then that's how you get the grading for everything. Now you've got here, you see the image for this particular question. You can actually upload an image. Now you'll find that there's a lot of different places where the sizing is different, like 145 by 145. I'll show you something really easy in case you didn't notice already. You go to Canva, you click on create design, you go to custom size, and then you put 145. Oops, let me just, hang on. Create design, 145 by 145, create design, and then you can create the design the way you want it to be, okay? So, you know, I'm just gonna put a random photo, okay? Here's the photo, let's say, and once it's done, I click on download, and then I go back to Zenler, and then I can upload the exact right size here. So add image, go to downloads, and upload it like that, okay? Now it will let you obviously size it. Yeah, let's do it like that. Click on save. And that's done. So these are the times where it's actually okay to upload it, not to the media library, is when you need to get the exact right sizing. That's okay. You know, you wanna do it at that particular moment versus doing it in advance because you just don't know what the right size is gonna be. Okay. Once that's done, you can always preview the quiz and see what it looks like. Click on start. Pears is the right answer. Finish. Submit quiz. You got 100%. Okay. Close preview. And that's what it will look like. Now let's go back to curriculum. Emily, yes, we are taking questions in the chat. So any questions you guys have throughout this, definitely feel free to note them down and I'll definitely take care of them at the end. Okay, so survey works more or less the same way, I believe. So let's do demo survey. Yeah, you got pretty much the same thing. It's just not a quiz. That's the only difference. It's a survey. So a quiz is more like the graded survey. It's just like getting feedback. And you could obviously do other things. So if you want to do rating, like, you know, how would we rate? How would you rate this Zoom call so far, right? And then have people mark what they feel, okay? All right, let's go back to this section. Okay, let's do some builder 101. So the builder, I'm going to give you probably, if you can take away one thing out of this session, it's how to use the builder really effectively. So you basically never have to do mobile editing. Okay, I've been building websites for about a year. I mean, I did a lot of mobile editing at the very beginning until I figured out what I'm about to show you. And I really almost never do mobile editing because I just don't need to, okay? If you do it in the way I'm showing you. So you gotta look at the builder in this way. There are 4 colors that you gotta pay attention to. Blue, which is the block. Green, which is a row. Red, which is element. And gold, which is dynamic, okay? Now, I'll explain what these are now, and I'll show you visually what it actually looks like. So on the editor, you see the blue. This, you see, if you look at the rectangle, it's in blue, okay? You want to build your website by blocks. Don't have a block and then dump many rows and widgets and elements and text and all that stuff. Don't do it that way, because if you do it that way, you will mess up your mobile editing and you'll make your website almost unusable to edit it later. So you want to build block by block. So what you do is you click on the block, you add a row, and then you can choose the sizing. Okay, I like to choose this one, not always, but I choose to do this one. Now observe, it's green. The rows are now in green. Now this is really important because if I want to edit the section of the rows only, I need to click on it, and then I will see here the settings, and it's in green. And then all the little details, the customization, are going to be appearing here. The border corner, the border style, border width, all that stuff, okay? I'll try and explain what these are in a moment as well. Now, inside there is elements. So let's say I want to add an icon, okay? And I'm going to, let's say, find the Amazon icon, let's say. And here it is, okay? This is in red. So now if I want to edit just this icon, I click on that. And then here I can obviously change the icon to other icons. I can look at the style. I can make it bigger. So let's say I want it to be bigger. So I'm going to make it 100, right? Then it's going to be bigger. Or let's say I want to make it 150. It's going to make it bigger. If I want to change its color, I'm going to make it red. It will change the color, and so on and so forth, okay? So that's really important. Now, don't go and change all of these. You just, if you follow my instructions on a block by block, you will rarely have to edit things here. You just go stick to all devices, okay? Now on the settings, you can then click here on different animation, for example. So if you want to do bounce in like that or fade in. Now what will happen is if you were to leave it and do a preview, it will just keep bouncing over and over and over. So what you want to do, you want to put here 1,000 or whatever, or 10,000 or whatever. So then it will just bounce in once, and there's going to have to be a 10,000 seconds before it will bounce again, okay? So if you leave it at 0, it will just continue to bounce, which is going to be just annoying, right? It's going to be an annoying user experience. So make sure you actually change it as well, okay? So that's that. Now, obviously, if you want to put other elements below it, like heading, okay? So for example, you're going to put in Amazon or whatever, that's fine. You could do all of that. But again, try to ideally leave it block by block. Only if you want it right under this, use the, keep adding more elements under it. But otherwise, try to avoid it, okay? So probably the most you would do is something like that. Oh, and then here's another feature. You can actually go and you can obviously upload image, but you can also go here and search for images, which is integrated with Pixabay. And so let's type Amazon, just and then click enter, and then you'll see the different pictures. Okay, if it will come up, and there's going to be a lot of pictures that you can actually choose from. Okay, so I'll just choose this one. You can crop it. Okay, or you could do insert without crop, which is what I would typically do. But again, it depends on what you're doing. All right. And again, if you want to make it different, you can click on the red, and then you can actually size it and make it smaller. Okay. Now this one obviously looks ridiculous, like it's way too big. So you want to go here, style, and make it, let's say 80. Okay. Then it's going to make more sense. Okay. Now on the green, if you want to edit this, you got to think with, let's say you want to do a border. You want to do a color for the background. I'm going to pick an ugly color. I'll make it yellow, just green, just because, I mean, obviously don't do colors like that, but just an example. Now you've got different things like border style. So you can choose the border to be solid or to be dotted. Okay. So you can see how it's changing, or you can make it dashed. And then you can actually make the width. So you can actually make it bigger that way. And then you can also make it so the corner is going to be more rounded, which is, let's say this one. Let's do 25. You could see now the border now here, it's actually more circular. Okay. So that's where you can customize and do stuff like that. Now, another thing that I'll tell you as a tip, I would never worry about styling anything until you have all the main content of the page ready. Okay. So for example, in this sales page or this page, right now we have the best selling courses in the world or whatever, right? Add a block. Okay. So what do you want your website to be? So let's say you want to have some sort of a hero image at the very top. Okay. So you would go to headers, and obviously you've got these headers right here, which is the menu. Now let's see. Oh, titles. Okay. Marketing automation. So here's a title. That's the top. Okay. Don't worry about styling it. Click on new block. Now, what do you want to do? You want to maybe give them the different pain points or whatever, or a different call to action, like download my freebie, for example. So you can go look through the different call to action options. Okay. And let's say pick this one. Let's see, like this one. Great. So that's the call to action. Next block. Click on it. Now you think, okay, I want to show some sort of content that I want to share with them. No. So contact processes. Okay. So you want to explain to them a certain process, like how your coaching business, what your process is on how you coach people. So you upload this, you click on that, and then it gives you the different processes. Good. You're happy with that? Click on block. Now you want to show them, okay, who about me, who are you, right? So click on that and add this and add it here. Okay. Do the next one. What's the next part of the structure? Let's say you want to show testimonials. Which part of the testimonials do you like the most? What type of style do you have? Okay. So let's say you like the most this style. Great. So you put it like that, and you've got the testimonials. And you simply do block by block and get everything set up first, then add your content to customize it to your stuff. And then at the end, you style it, okay? With colors, animations, and all of that. Because if you were to start doing the styling at the very beginning, you're just going to have too much back and forth, because by the time you finish styling this paragraph or this block is not going to match, and you're going to hate it. And then you'll just go back and forth. It's going to take forever, okay? So that's kind of the sequence, all right? And the other reason why the colors is really important is because now that you uploaded the block, even though you have the blocks uploaded, you can see what's included. So on the green, you're like, okay, how do I want to make this one? Great. How do I want to make this element? How do I want to change this one? And you can understand every one of these is like an element. Okay. Now, the last thing I didn't show you is what is the gold. The gold is dynamic. And dynamic simply means that it's actually, it changes on this particular page, not because you can edit it on the page, but because you edit it elsewhere. So for example, if you were to go to this part, all courses. So you can see right now a couple of demo courses, a digital download and a course that I created just as a demo. And I cannot really do too much editing. I can click on it and I can edit the styling of it, but I cannot actually edit the content. The content, I have to right click on courses. It will open up in a new tab. And then here is where I can change it. So you can see I created a lot of courses, but you're only seeing 2. Why is that? That's because you'll find that, for example, the course that I have here, like Zenler demo, that's actually not published. Therefore, it's not visible. If I'm going to click on publish, just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to refresh this page. Oh, let me just save this. I'm going to refresh. And now it should show all 3 courses. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's what the dynamic content is. There is other dynamic content you can actually add. And when you click on it, you see the word dynamic right here. So this is how you see it. Courses with filter and search, all courses, my courses. The difference is my courses is the ones that your customer has access to. This one is all courses, i.e. everything that's available on the website. Featured courses, again, you can actually hide courses. Let's say you want to publish a course, but you don't want to be visible. You would go here to course details, and you can make it featured, or you can make the course secret. That's up to you. Okay, so you got all these options. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay. Now, let me show you another great hack. Now, let's just say this is the home page. You've now created this incredible hack, an incredible block. An example of a block that you will need to reuse over and over is if you've got testimonials, you're going to be like, okay, I've set up all these testimonials. It looks amazing. I don't want to rebuild it again in a different page because you might use the testimonials in different sales pages, right? So here's a little trick on what you do. You click on the block, you click on settings, and oh, sorry, not settings. You click on this button, save block as template. And then you give it a name, testimonials ABC 1, 2, 3 or whatever, or testimonials 1. Click on save. Now I'm going to move to a different page. Here on the top is where you move between pages. I'm going to go to a demo page that I did, just a random page. And I'm going to click on add block, scroll all the way. And now you see here, custom blocks. Click on that, and here it is. Then you can click on it and it will automatically show, and you can choose on any other page. So this is an amazing way to set up really, really quickly a lot of your stuff, because you're going to find a lot of your content is actually overlapping. Okay. This is one of those things that Zenler have done an incredible job. This doesn't exist as good in other software. So Zenler have done an incredible job on that. Okay. The last thing I want to show you is the pop-up. Every single page, doesn't matter which page you're in, there is a pop-up. Okay. Now the pop-up naturally will have different templates and styles. So you can click on settings, click on design, and you have different types of pop-ups that you might like better than others. So if you could do a really basic one, you could do a more like this one. Okay, you can actually play around. There's a whole bunch of templates here. I'm sure they'll add more, but these are really good little templates. And the builder works exactly the same way. Here you see this is the red. So this is the image. You know this is the element. So you click on settings. If you want to replace the image, you would go to image URL. Let's pick the dog. And here it is. Okay. So that's that. Now, let me just go to the PDF to make sure we're on track. Okay, is this clear, Zenler Builder? If you can give me a thumbs up if that was helpful on the builder. Yeah? Okay, perfect, perfect. Now, next thing I want to show you is one thing that here is the different, this is what I wrote in the original post. There is a couple of things that I wrote. So basically the difference between funnels and sales pages under courses, how to create a seamless sales process, setting up email follow-up, and how to create waitlist, stuff like that. So I'm going to show you the whole funnels / courses and how to kind of connect the pieces. Okay. Again, you really, really want to sketch it out. Okay. Like I have here, you want to sketch it out because otherwise you will get lost. So you see landing page, meeting room, survey page, thank you page, email 1, email 2, email 3, and so on. Okay. You want to sketch it out because otherwise you will just get lost. Okay. And just so you know, like there's different softwares on mapping it out. You know, I might look young or whatever, but let me tell you, I'm old fashioned. I have a stack of pieces of paper next to me all the time. And I like to handwrite all my stuff. Okay. So go old fashioned and it's great to do it that way. So let me show you how to connect stuff. Let's do the pop-up. So the pop-up, and this is where there's a little bit of moving parts here. Let's go to marketing funnels for a second. No, I'm going to go to email broadcasts and I'm going to create an email list. Okay. I'm going to create a list called Zenler demo. Okay. Step 1. Then I want to go to marketing funnel. I'm going to create a funnel. I'm going to just choose a lead magnet for the sake of demonstration. Zenler demo. You can upload the freebie you want to give, or for right now, I'm not gonna actually include it. And I'll tell you, I'm gonna explain to you shortly why I don't include the freebie as well. I'll show it to you in a second. And then I could do it as part of what course I'm going to sell as part of the follow-up email sequence, the email automation. So I'm gonna choose that. Click on next step. Choose the landing page. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick one. Click on finish. And now you see the funnel. Opt-in page, landing page, squeeze page, lead capture page. It's all the same thing. Thank you page. Okay. Now you've got the URL if you want to see what it looks like. So you can just click on it and you can share the link on social media or whatever once it's ready. Or if you want to preview it, you could just click on it and it will actually show you what it looks like. Okay. Now, if you want to edit it, you click on this and then you can edit it exactly the same way like you would have. Okay. Now notice here, you've got the form. Okay. When you click on the button, you click on settings. Here is where you customize where you want them to go. You click on settings. You want to submit the form. That's fine. But once they submit the form, where do you want them to go? What link do you want them to go? What landing page do you want them to go? Okay. Now, in this case, you're going to submit the form, okay, because you want to actually submit. And then what email list you want to add them to. So you want to choose the email list, the right email list. Oops, let me just click it again. And then you want to choose what funnel you want to add them to, which in this case was Zenler demo, which I didn't set up. Oh, this is the funnel. This is, you can't see the funnel because this is the funnel we're on. That's why you can't see it. Okay. You can tag them. So this came from landing page, Zenler demo. And then to choose the action of after the next thing. So you could do two options. Number one, go to the next page, which means it will go to the thank you page, or go to a link, which could go to the sales page. Now, which sales page is that? The sales page of the course. Okay, so let's go back to courses. I know this is a lot. You're going to have to go back and watch it again. I know this is like a ton, right? Once you're in courses and you go to pages and you've set up the sales page, you click on the URL, copy URL, you go back here, and then you paste it here. That's how you channel people from the landing page, which is here, over to the sales page, which you create the sales page on the course. Okay, so create the sales pages in the course, create the wait list and the opt-in in the marketing funnels. Okay, here is the sales pages you created here. Here you create the lead generation side. Now I'm going to click on save. Yeah. Now let's go back to the marketing funnel. Zenler demo. Here under automation is where you create the email sequence. So this is email drip sequence on subscribe. So once they subscribe to the email list, you send the first email. So you want to click on edit action. And then here you choose what's the freebie you want to send. And Zenler actually listed out here. So you can actually say something about the freebie or whatever. Okay. Now, sometimes we've all been there. We are interested in a freebie, but we don't want to give our real email address, right? Or we want to give a fake email address just because we want the freebie or whatever. So, and sometimes we maybe misspell it. So what you want to do is you don't want to give the freebie up front on the thank you page. You want to give the freebie on the email, because if you do it on the email, it will force people to give you the right email address. It will make sure they check it. It will make sure they open it, and it will make sure they click it. All these indications are going to help you with your email deliverability. Okay. Now, how do you get your lead magnet over to the email? It's very simple. You simply go to the media library. And let's say the lead magnet, in my case, is the sales page outline. So, which is this. You click right here on share file. It's very, very small. Click on it. And then you'll see these options. So click on anyone with a link can download. Click on it, say done, go back. And then here on the email is where you put the freebie, right? So here, this is how I do it usually. Click here to get the freebie, okay? Highlight it, link, insert link, paste it in, insert, and here it is. And I make it bold, okay? So that's how you do it. And then that's how you deliver the freebie, okay? Now, once you've done editing this email and doing it all the way you want it to be, you can obviously customize like where you want to send it from, the delay, how many days before the subscription, you know, how often, when did they get the email and all that. You want to make it live, okay? So I'm going to make it live. And this is just a demo, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to now test it, okay? So I've set it up, and I'll do it from the pop-up. So give me 1 second. So you see here, I set it up under settings, submit the form, step 1, Zenler demo, which is the list to add them to. Select the funnel, it's already part of the funnel. What link, what sales page I want it to go to. And then, yeah, so that's the steps. Now let's do preview. And I'm going to test it. And by the way, I recommend everybody to have a fake email address just for testing, by the way. If you don't have a fake email address, just for testing purposes, that's what I've got a few email addresses like that just to test stuff. So let me just put in my name. So Zenler group Zoom demo. And I'll put my email address, download free report. It takes me straight to the sales page, which we didn't create, but it takes me straight to the sales page. Okay. Now let's go and see if I actually received an email. Now it might not arrive straight away. There could be delays. So don't hold me to it if you don't see an email. No, not yet. Okay. So we just have to wait, be patient about it. Now let's go to Zenler and see if at least I ended up registered email lists. Zenler demo, 1 member, okay? So let's see if I'm in. There you go. Zenler group Zoom demo, Ibukachi 23, and here it is, okay? In terms of the marketing funnel, I think it will actually show that the first email was sent. Let's just see. Oh yeah, there you go. So you see here, 1 visitor, 1 lead, 100% conversion rate, because obviously I just did 1, okay? And here it is right here. Now on the automation, let's just see if they do stats on it. Yeah, so you can see nothing has been delivered yet, okay? I probably did something wrong here, or it maybe takes a few minutes. Another thing is I might not have even set it up properly yet. But anyway, that's just to give you an idea. Okay, so that's the difference in funnels. That's how to integrate the sales process. Setting up email marketing follow-up, I showed you. Create a wait list, that's in the marketing funnels, I showed you that. Now let's talk about email deliverability, okay? I know that there's people wondering about their email deliverability or worried about it. It's really simple steps. Number 1, set up a custom domain. Contact@aroundbukai.com is an example. Versus, sorry, this wasn't meant to happen. Versus aroundbukai@gmail.com. Don't send with a Gmail, do a custom domain. You can use your hosting provider to do that. The second thing you need to do is called authenticate your domain, which I bet you 98% of people don't do that, and that hurts your deliverability. Okay, if you ever see anybody complaining in a Facebook group about deliverability, it's probably because they didn't do this step. Now, this step is a little bit technical, okay, and I'll just show you how it works. Let's go to site. You go to integrations. You go to Zenler Mail. You obviously choose what email it's coming from. Oh, I see, it's coming from the wrong email. That's why mine didn't get sent. So I had it set up as the wrong email address to send. That's why I didn't get an email. And then you click on email domain authentication. Click on authenticate your domain, and you need to just follow the instructions. Okay, it's a little bit complicated, but the support documents is here. Click on authenticate in the support documents, and you'll see it right here, and you simply follow those steps. And it's complicated not because it's complicated. It's just every hosting provider, GoDaddy or Namecheap or whatever, it just looks different. So for me to show you how to do it is going to be useless because there's 50 different people to do it. So depending on who you are, it's a different structure, but their support documents shows you all of these ones. So if you're with any of these, Zenler has actually created a specific screenshot one by one on how to do it, okay? And then the last thing on the deliverability is don't use spammy words to trigger filters. Don't put in caps the word money in your subject line. That's just going to kill your deliverability. It's going to go to spam straight away. You know what I mean? Things like that. If you want to know what words are spammy, just Google what words trigger spam. Let's just say spam filters, and then you'll just read articles, and there's interesting articles on that. So HubSpot has incredible blogs that you can read, and you can just kind of get yourself educated on these type of things to improve your email deliverability. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay, I showed you this, and that's what I've got for you. So I can't think of anything else. I thought there was another thing that I want to show you, but let me open up the floor for a little bit of Q&A. And let me just look at the chats. Okay, perfect. So first question is, when you set enable free preview, does that mean anyone outside my main course can see the content, i.e. public? Samantha asked that. Absolutely, that's exactly right. So basically when you're setting up the course, I'll just go back here. I'll just pick the course for a second. Where is enable free preview? Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go to curriculum. And let's say the first section, I want to have it. So let's say this is the welcome section, right? I'm gonna do another section. Let me just save it. I'll do module 1. module 2, module 3, and so on. Now, let's say I want the welcome section to be visible to everybody. Okay, so I'm going to click on it, click on the welcome section, and I can click on enable free preview. That means that everybody's going to be able to see it. Okay, even if they're not signed up. Now, here's a really cool feature. Set as compulsory, and I think somebody asked that. I think Emily asked that. This means that they have to do that step before moving on. Okay, and then this one, enable discussion. This is a great way for the community. This is where the community feature comes in. So when you click on enable discussion, this is what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to click not enable discussion, and I'm going to show you the community for a second. So the community feature, let's just see, go to community. So this is the community. This is the communities that I'm in. This is the discussions. Okay. Now, when I change it to enable discussion, I'm now going to refresh this community. You're going to see here, welcome module appear as a part of the discussion. Zenler demo. Okay. So now it's available as part of the discussion. Now you can obviously, when you're setting up the communities, you can have different communities. You can create one for the entire site, all the courses, or you can choose specific courses or bundles. Okay. So that's up to you on how many communities you want to have, or if you want to do one community and different threads, all of that stuff. So that's a great little feature. And it basically means that the comment section that you have, it's not just comments inside, it's comments that are automatically connected to the community. Okay, so that's what this means. Let's see. Oh, pricing. I didn't show you pricing. So pricing, you can add new plan, free one-time subscription and payment plan. Let's do subscription. You can create different tiers by clicking on this, and you can then choose. So let's say the payment plan. So for example, you can choose that people that pay $20 are going to get access to the first 2 modules only. Okay. And then you can set it up in a way where I'm going to create another pricing plan for a second. Oh, I need to give it a name. Tier 1. And I'll add another pricing plan. Subscription. Next. And this one will be $40. And this one, I'm going to say, you can have access to everything. Okay. And I could choose, and then you get access to the community as well. And make it the popular plan. You know, when you've got the popular plans, you could do that as well. So click on finish. VIP treatment, let's say, right? Okay. Click on finish. And there you go. You got 2 different tiers now. Okay. Which naturally as well on the pages, I'm pretty sure it will actually show automatically on the pages. So if you click on checkout, just if you want to preview it or edit the checkout page, you see there's the 2 tiers, right? $20, $40. Okay. Now you probably want to know how to add an upsell. So all you got to do to add an upsell, it's a really important point. Add order bump. You choose the order bump. So choose the course, choose the plan from that course, give it a title. This is an amazing course. Give whatever details you want to say. Yes, I want a shortcut. You know, you could do something like that. Change the picture. Let's put the dog again. Okay. And then make sure you click on save order bump. You can also style everything. Like you can change the colors of what you see and stuff like that. If you don't like the dashed, you can make it solid. You can make it border, all that stuff. Okay. So you can do all of that. You can change the background color. Okay. So that's all customizable basically right here, exactly the same way. Again, this is why it's really important to understand the block structure. This is a dynamic block, okay? And that's how you edit all of that, okay? Now, let's go back to the questions. This is the SEO, by the way. Every page, you can actually add the SEO content. So you can give it a title, which is changes the name, the description, which is for the search engine, what keyword it's going to focus on, and the social image. The social image is really important because if you're going to share this page on social media, what does it look like? To give you an example, let's just go to my Facebook page, okay? So for example, here's a YouTube video that I was sharing, okay? Then this is the thumbnail of the YouTube video. So the social sharing, what you have here is what's going to display on the social when you share it on social, because you're going to share things all the time, right? That's how you get traffic to your website. So that's how you make it so it's really good. And if you put the description, also the sharing will actually look better, because right now, if you're going to leave it blank, it's just going to pull out information which you might not be happy with, and it will just look ugly. So whenever you're sharing things on social, or you're sharing things on in Messenger, you want to make sure that those things are set up properly. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Emily, I've answered that. Multiple enroll buttons on one page. Multiple enroll buttons. Stephanie, I'm just going to unmute you. Could you explain that question to me? I can't hear you yet.
So at the top of it, when you're creating a course page, right, that gets them to sign up, and at the top you have your video, your picture, or text, or whatever, then it says enroll in course, and then you put more information below to sell the course and get them to sign up. You'll see on a lot of those pages multiple enroll buttons, like enroll now, sign me up. How do you do that? Because I tried cloning the button at the top.
Great question. Great question. Great question. So you can unmute yourself and then I'll explain. So that's a great question. So let's just do a demo on that. So let me just think for a second. Jeff, I'm going to share your funnel that we built together, and then I'll show everybody. Hope you don't mind. This is a funnel that I built with Jeff, who's part of the group as well. He might be on the call. He's on the call as well. So we created this this sales page, not this homepage, this sales page we created together. Okay, and you'll see there is headline, video, buy button, testimonial, buy button, testimonial, buy button, a bit of info, buy button, and so on. So the way we did that is oh, it's not the right one. Hang on. This one. Pages, sales page. What you do is you click on the checkout page, click on the copy URL, go back to the page, and then you'll notice that every button that we created, you click on settings, and you simply put it here under link. And the action is go to link. Okay. Now you can choose to open it in a new tab or have it in the same tab. Typically, with a sales page, it's all on the same tab. So you just take the link of the checkout page right here and paste it here. That way you can create as many buttons as you like. Now, again, to save time, what you want to do is, and this is what we did, you'll notice that the button is on its own block. The reason we do it that way is because once we style the button and we're like, okay, we love the button, it looks awesome, it's exactly how we want it to look. You click on copy, clone, okay? And then you can literally just go right here and move it down. So you're basically gonna continue and put the exact same button again and again throughout, instead of having to recreate the same freaking button every time, which will just end up costing you so much time, okay?
Yep.
All right, thanks, Jeff, for your contribution. If anybody wants to learn about sponsorships, Jeff is your guy. He's got some great little, incredible niche, how to get sponsorship for your business. Okay, so Lisa, I have a question about communities. Can you set up pricing for like the first 200, it's this price, and then after this amount? Yes, absolutely. So great question, Lisa. The way you do it, it's really simple. You simply create a new pricing, okay? Now, the way you do that is you go right here to pricing. And let's say this is the tier 1. It's actually what we call the founder's launch. Everybody probably heard about the founder's launch when you do it at the very beginning to get people in the door and stuff like that. So once you've done it, you can actually make it so it's not available. So you can say set availability, and you could say the enrollment date and then the close date. Okay, so let's say we're going to start. The enrollment date is now, and it's going to be available until the 13th of March, okay? And then it will close, okay? So that's how you can do it. Click on update, and then that's the pricing plan that's available, okay? And then you can simply create a new plan for the next upsell or whatever the price is going to be a bit later, okay? So that's how you do that. Okay, Michelle, if I enroll a bunch of people at the founding members price, monthly price, and increase the price, how can I make sure the founding members stay at the original monthly price? Yeah, so you basically just close. I think I answered that question. You basically just close. You don't delete. I don't believe you need. You can't. Don't delete the pricing. You simply make it so it's not available anymore. Basically. Let's see if there's anything else like that here. Yeah. Yeah, just make it so it's not available anymore. Now, these questions, this is a very dangerous question to answer also. So I recommend, Michelle, these are the type of questions you want to, I would always just email support just to be like, okay, I want to make sure I'm 1000% correct with what I said. This is my understanding. Can you confirm this is correct and get that verified? Because if you mess that up, you're going to have bloody headaches, right? So there's certain questions that even if I give you the answer and you think you know the answer, I would triple check it, right? An example of that type of a question is if I want to give somebody a coupon code that's valid for the first month for a discount, but then it doesn't give them the discount for the next month, you can go get the answer, all good, but then write to support and triple check it, because that question, if you mess it up, you're just going to have a freaking mess, okay? So that's just really important, those little things. Okay, Emily, how do I enroll students manually into a course that has a fee, but students has made a payment in another one of my platforms? Excellent question. So you go to courses, Zenler demo, students. It will open up in the right location. Add user. And now I'm going to, sorry, let me just move the Zoom's getting in the way. Zenler new student, paid PayPal payment, right? That's where they paid. I'm going to put in that different email. I'm going to make a student role. And then here, select course to enroll them in. So I'm going to give them access to the Zenler demo on the VIP treatment. I'm going to choose what funnel to subscribe them to if I want to subscribe them to a funnel. And then click on add. Okay. And there you go. funnel education. Now let's see, let's just test it because I'm actually not sure how that works. Oh, by the way, remember that email I sent originally? It did actually arrive. So here's the email that I tested to myself, okay? Hey, Zenler group demo, blah, blah, blah. Here's the freebie, click. And here's the freebie that I gave as part of the thing, okay? And it downloaded it immediately. And when you open it up, here's the freebie. Now let's just test funnel education, my other email. Let's just test it for a second. There you go. Around Bukai notification, login details. You've been enrolled to course demo, Zenler demo. Okay. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Again, that's why you have multiple emails and that's why you want to test it. Look like Stephanie has questions here. How do I connect my private domain? I showed you that. How to make enroll buttons throughout the page. I've answered that. The images on the top of each page. The images on the top of each course page are smaller than in other blocks. The images on top of course pages are smaller than in other blocks. I'm not sure the answer to that, Stephanie. I think it's a type of question I'll probably leave it to the Facebook group to see if they've got an answer, or I'll try and look into it afterwards because I'm not totally sure about that. How do I offer a discount at a time of a purchase? Yeah, so you go to here and then you, under courses, you go to coupons, create coupon, and then you can choose an example. Is it a percentage or is it an amount? So $10. Do you want it to be to a specific product? Which product do you want to give the discount to? Do you want to give it to the different tiers or just one tier? How long or how many people can use? So let's say 10 people. When does it expire? Apply discount for the first billing only. Apply discount during every billing. Apply discount for 3 months. This is freaking brilliant. They've done that. Yeah, that's great. There you go. That's the answer. Yeah. Okay. Melissa asks if what I sell, say a kit for my class, is there a way to do it? Melissa, can you unmute yourself and explain to me your question? You're asking if you want to sell a kit?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Like I'm a quilter, and so if I sell a quilt kit for them to take my course,
yeah,
is there a way to sell it from the website?
Yeah, so you will create it basically. Think of courses as products, okay? So it doesn't matter if you want to sell a coaching session, a membership, a physical product, or whatever. You're just going to create it as a course, basically. And it's not ideal, not great, but it's the way it is for now. And to be honest, let me just tell you, I've been using Podia from the beginning of me working online for the last year and a half or whatever. I've been working online for about a year and a half. That's how long I've had Podia for. And to be honest, I sold everything on Podia. It doesn't matter if it's a coaching session, if it's a website deal. I didn't care. I just said, okay, here's the checkout, just because it was an easy way to collect payment. You know, I know it's a bit, maybe it's a bit unprofessional. Maybe it's a bit, you know, people maybe, but let me tell you, I've not had one client that actually cared. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? All they know is if they want your service, they want to be able to pay you and they want to get delivered. So that's all they care about. They couldn't care less if you're using Podia, Zenler, Kajabi, WordPress, if you cried all night trying to set it up or you did it in 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I only get 3 courses. So that would be one of my courses.
No, you get unlimited courses with Zenler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got no limits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Emily, sorry to come back to this. Oh, sorry, Melissa, did I cut you off? Do you have any questions or you're okay? You're okay? Okay. Emily, sorry to come back to this, but I do not understand how the compulsory setting works with my embed videos. I want to be sure students view the entire video. How does this work? Is there a way only to have students move forward in the course after they submitted an assignment? Assignment has been approved by the instructor. Great question. So Emily, I am pretty sure that embed videos, it's a little bit more difficult to control. I'm not 100%, but all you got to do is just upload the MP4 video. So let's just go back to the videos, go to the curriculum, and then go to the section. Okay, so we're here, and you want to say set as compulsory. Okay, so now let's just do a test. Okay, let's view the course curriculum. Oh, I need to save. I need to save all these things because I didn't save it. And let me create a couple of lessons just for the sake of it. Okay, so now let's preview. And this is the welcome section. Yeah, you need to, somehow it's already taking me through. So you'll have to play around with that feature. You'll need to play around with that feature. Or I can hear myself. What's going on here? Or if everybody can mute themselves, because then I can hear myself talking. Yeah, it shouldn't take me to the next section. So what I would suggest is test that option on set as compulsory. Once you upload content, it should work, because it should work, and you just have to make sure you save everything correctly, because obviously I'm doing it pretty fast. I probably missed something, but that's what I suggest. And then if it doesn't work, then ask support to test it out and see what you did wrong. Because here, I thought I said pass this quiz before continuing, and it should work basically. So yeah. But that's where you do it. You do it on the curriculum, okay? Stephanie asked, can I offer a discount? I showed you that. Okay, Emily, you also asked about assignment. Yeah, so let's look at the assignment. Add assignment, demo assignment. Please do this. Text input, add. Yeah, I think the assignment is the same way. You're just going to make it compulsory. I think what I did wrong is, you see that I did video and all that stuff. Like I did too many. So basically what you want to do is you want to create a new lesson. And then on the new lesson, you want to create assignment, right? And then make that compulsory. Create the assignment as you would. So basically, instead of having everything in the one welcome, which is what I did, create different lessons inside. And I think that should fix it. I don't want to keep everybody watching me doing it, but I think that's the way to do it. Okay. So I hopefully, Emily, that should work. So just create different lessons for every one of those parts. And when you have the quiz, make it compulsory basically, and click on save changes. Jeff, did that charge the student when you enrolled them in the other course? No, it didn't charge, because there was no credit card that they had to enter. Emily, can you publish a course and then continue to add sections? I'm pretty sure you can, because all I'm doing is I'm still, I mean, I've got a course published and I'm just adding more sections at the moment. So I believe so. Let's just see. I'm going to save. I'm going to refresh the page and see if actually it added a few sections. Yep, it added them. So there you go. Yes, you can. All right. I don't see any other questions. Let me just look at my email to see if there's any other questions. Oh, you could see I got an email notification that I added my custom domain. Let's just see if it actually worked. Zenler.comtruths.com. Yeah, that's good. This is an improvement. This means that it's getting closer. Okay. I know it doesn't look good, but it's getting closer, basically. So anyway, there you go. Let's go back to my PowerPoint presentation here. Let me just take you through the slides again, see if there's anything that I missed.
I have a question.
Yes, go for it.
Communities, can you go back to showing the communities and the sidebar in the community?
Yep.
So I have a couple of questions about community. Are you familiar with Mighty Networks?
Yes.
Okay, so Mighty Networks is very community facilitating, if you will.
Yep.
And on the left side, you can have like different topics and sections and you know, all kinds of good stuff. So over here, you have communities, discussions, but those are just conversations. They're not sections, correct?
Exactly. It's discussions based on a lesson that you enable the discussion to be had.
Okay, so it doesn't have an ability yet in communities to facilitate like education or information on the left sidebar.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The customization options is you click on edit, so you can basically choose the cover photo, the name, the description, and who is it for, or what type of communities. And then when you have the community, the customization is done through the lessons, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Based
Okay.
on lessons within courses. That's how it's customized.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my second question is with the pricing for a course.
Yeah.
Is it intuitive enough to say for the first 200 people, the price is this, and then after 200, the price is X?
I didn't see a way to do that where it counts how many. Maybe there is a way to do that. Let me just have a look quickly. So that's, I want to do pricing, add a new plan, subscription. Next.
Maybe it would be under one-time payment though.
Yeah, maybe. Let's just test that
So
out.
if you say for the first 200 people is $67 and every person after that, it goes to $197.
Yeah, let's see. Set availability. No, that's still the times. Course validity. Bullet points. Course will be available from the date of enrollment to 2 days given here. Oh, like how many days it's available? No. This is if you want to make a course. This is a good feature. If you want to give somebody access to a course for 6 months, and that's what they're buying, you can just change here to, or let's say 1 year, just to make my math easy, 365 days, and then you give them 1 year access, right? Or if you're doing a 12 weeks boot camp or something like that, you could do a 90 days access to the course. You know what I mean? So you can actually set it up. So when they pay one time, they get limited access to that degree. But to answer your question, Lisa, it's Lisa, right? I'm talking to?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you have that option on the numbers. You just gotta keep track of it yourself, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Other questions from you? Jackie asked, can we make the dynamic header wider, top to bottom? Jackie, could you unmute yourself? Oh yeah, good idea. Jackie, brilliant. Jackie said you could do a coupon code for the first X amount of people. That's very, very true. So that's a good workaround. You go to courses. Lisa, that's the answer to your question. You go to coupons and you basically create a coupon and then you say 200 people, you give, let's say you want to give them a percentage discount. So they get 20% off, for example, for a specific product, Zenler demo, and you put a limit of the first 200 people, basically. And that's how you do it.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so that's a great workaround. Thanks for that, Jackie. Brilliant.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah.
So my question was the dynamic header up here with the Zenler. I want to make it taller looking. Is there a way for us to do that?
Great question. I believe there is. Settings, and then you want to go, let me just check. First of all, you can make it full width, so you can make it like wider. That's number one. I thought there was a way to do it. Let me just check. Text color doesn't look like an A. It's not very exciting. I can't see immediately a way to do that, so no. No, unfortunately, no. I would recommend asking about it, but yeah, it doesn't look like there is, unless, let's see if I add another block. You can do a workaround where you just add another block and put a spacer. Basically, I think you could do it that way. That's the only way I can think of right now.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be able to change where the header titles are. You wouldn't be able to adjust them to.
That's right.
Be
to
in
put
the
in
middle
the middle
of both. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's not quite. Doesn't quite solve it for you.
No, I have a second question.
Yeah.
I have one school set up already, and I'd like to set up the second school. Where do I go to set up the second school?
Oh, great question. So you do that. Sites. And I believe you go here to my account, actually. And I think here you set up the school. Oh, there you go, sites. And you add a site.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. One other thing I will mention as well, to just because Jackie brought up a point here, on the block, if you want to have a block that doesn't fit the branding the way all the other branding that you want, and you want to make it a little bit different, you can always click here and go apply branding, say on or say off. So apply branding will automatically trigger. So it's going to be the branding the way you set it up, like right here on the site under branding. And if you have it off, then it will let you to customize it the way you want it to be, basically. So that's an option. And if you want to make it wider as well, you can actually make it wider so it's the full width of it as well. Anyway, that's just a little thing that I thought was worth mentioning.
I have
That's
another
actually cool.
question.
Yep.
Sorry. Oh God. What was I going to say? Oh, for the site. We get 3 sites or 10 sites, depending on what package we have.
Yeah.
Like, what would be the scenario to create a whole new site?
Yeah. If it's a new business, honestly, that's what I see. An example, a classic example is if, let's say if you deliver your course in 2 different languages, you want to have a Spanish website and an English website, for example, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but otherwise it's just a different business, that's what I would do it for.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then second question, okay, so that's the site. Any tips on actually rebuilding a website within Zenler? Because it can house everything, right?
Yeah, that's right. So what's the question on that? Rebuilding, like migrating from somewhere else?
Correct.
So the reality on migration, you just got to understand software companies. They're in competition with each other. They don't want to make it easy for you to move away, right? So there's no magic button that Wix is going to let you say, if you want to migrate away from Wix, click this button, it'll magically be elsewhere, right? That's just not going to happen. So it really is just a rebuild process. And I can tell you right now, like I'm with Podia. I've got my own software around funnels. I also am with WordPress. And then I'm also bought Kajabi. So, and I'm moving Kajabi to certain like parts of it to Kajabi, for example, and also bought Zenler, right? So I've got different businesses that I can set stuff up in. And at the end of the day, sometimes when you migrate, it's almost better, instead of recreate what you have, realize you probably created that website, that old website a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. You might as well have a fresh look and kind of rebuild, and because you know so much better now as well, you know what I mean? You got a better vision, you better inspiration and stuff like that. So migration is great, but use the opportunity. If you're going to migrate, might as well upgrade at the same time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But if you're not creative like that, you want to follow a template, you could actually just find a template that you would,
Totally.
recreate. Okay.
So the way you would do that, I'm not sure if you if you saw the earlier, if I showed earlier, but I'll just go through it again quickly. On the
I don't
page,
think I saw it.
Okay, on the homepage, let's just say we go to the homepage. In this record, you should just listen to the recording. There's a section and just so you know, when I upload the recording to YouTube, I'm gonna have my VA actually timestamp every question. So you're not gonna have to watch an hour and a half of me talking or you asking questions or whatever. I'll actually have timestamps for everything as well, so you can find the exact right thing you want. Okay. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, but here on the pages, their template's actually quite good. And I went through here on the training, I went through the builder. Let me just go through, find the builder. There is different ways the builder, you need to understand how the colors work. Okay. So if you understand how the colors process work, which I explained earlier, it should help you structure things really easy. And then when you're actually on the page, you basically want to click on new block and then pick a block of what you want to show. So let's say you want to show, okay, now I want to show FAQs. Great. Pick the FAQs you like this one. And that's the FAQ section. Then you create another block. And then let's say you want to show the pricing model. So you choose the pricing model that you like and you do it that way. And then the next section, and that's how you kind of create the templates bit by bit. And they've got really, really good templates. And I just suggest you just browse through and play around with it and build it block by block. Because what happens when you do it block by block also, you might find that the sequence that you have, you might be like, after you upload all the blocks, you're like, I want to have a different sequence. All you got to do is go to the side and hover over and click on this move up or move down button. And it will actually move the block so you can actually structure it in the sequence you want.
That's great. And I'm sorry, when you were moving around quickly, are there actual full-on templates, or were you bringing those pieces over piece by piece? Or
bring those piece by piece, but you have placeholders is probably a better word.
Okay.
Yeah, placeholders is a better word. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you want a sales page template, I have a sales page template here. Basically, that I'm happy to share, and that's just a template that I did. I pre-sold a course that I did some time ago, about a year ago, something like that, and I pre-sold it. So I basically wrote the sales page, sold the course before I created any of it, got sales, and only then I created it. So the sales page template, this one is based on that successful course sale.
Excellent.
Okay, so if you want that, just send me an email afterwards, and then I'll get it to you, or send me a message on Messenger.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I'm having my website rebuilt or a new website, so just start from scratch in here would be the best idea.
Yeah, that's right. So you would go to the homepage, which is available. You go to pages, and then by default, you'll always have at the very bottom homepage already by default. You click on edit, and then you'll be able to edit it, basically. There you
So
go.
the homepage that's coming up is actually a template of some sort.
Yeah, it's not really a template. It's just the default homepage that they've created. So
Oh, okay.
automatically, you don't have to recreate a homepage. It's just that URL is already existing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So if you look here,
But if I wanted to create a second website, I know this is the main one that we get from New Zenler, but if I actually wanted to create a second one, how do you do that?
a new site completely out of the 3 domains?
Yes, actually, now I'm thinking about it, yes.
So you go here to my account, click on sites, and here you can create a new site.
Ah, got you.
Basically. Okay. And here they explain the difference as well. Oh, click what it means so you understand what it means.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. All right, let's see what else do we have. Jackie,
I have another question.
Yeah.
I made a sub menu, so a drop down menu.
Yeah.
And I just can't for the life of me change the background color of this sub menu.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it looks like it's here. Background color, text color, link hover, button color, button text. Doesn't look like you got the option there.
Yeah, they make it that light blue and it's super hard to read.
Right. Oh, yeah, I get it. Like this. Yeah, it's pretty light. I would probably, the text color, I'll just say, let's say make it dark, as opposed to just, because this is right now, it's a bit not quite. Oh, I see. Text color. Let's make it dark. And then let's make it link hover color. Let's make it red. And let's see what that looks like. It's going to be darker. When you hover over it, it will look red like that. That seems like the best I can do on that.
Okay, I'll give that a try. Thank you.
Yeah, the hover button. One other thing I think it's really important when you're creating a sales page, let's just like you got the homepage, that's all nice and well, have your menu. When you're creating a sales page, delete this. Don't have a sales page. Let me just open up a sales page, for example, right? So this is a sales page. Don't have the menu on a sales page because the sales page is designed to do one thing and one thing only. Landing page, sales pages, when you're getting people into your funnel, you want to remove the menu most of the time, okay? And all you got to do is simply click on delete, okay? It will not delete it on the entire website. It will just delete it on this particular page, okay? And if you ever want to add it back in, you could just do that, basically. Click on add block, and then you'll be able to add, there'll be a dynamic somewhere for the header. Yeah. Here you go. You could just add it right back in if you want to. Okay. Oh, hang on. I just had a thought. Somebody asked earlier if you can make this a little bit different, like make it a bit more spacious. I think that's how you actually do it. You can actually make it spacious that way. So you're basically going to create a block, empty block, row, make it blank, and add a spacer. Yeah, you can actually create the spacing a bit more this way. And then it's that way you got a bit more space at the bottom, at the top. I don't know how it will look, but you can actually create that extra spacing. I don't remember who asked that question. Somebody asked that question, but anyway, I just thought it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, I did. I'll give that a try. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, let me just look at any other questions. Emily is asking, is this Zoom meeting inside Zenler? No. So this is a good question. I was thinking if anybody's going to ask. If I did this session through registering through Zenler, I actually created the registration page through Zenler to start with. And to be honest, because I had so little, I didn't expect to have so many people respond. I thought maybe 2-3 people maybe will respond, but it ended up being so big that I just didn't want to mess it up. I didn't have time. I've never actually paid for a Zoom account or did a Zoom call like this. So I thought I'm just going to go with Zoom. I'm not going to add any complications. I don't even have time to test it. So I don't know how it will work, but this video, it's just strictly on Zoom, basically. Yeah. Can you show how to add a video to a block? Yep. So let's say you add a block. Okay. So again, keep an eye out on the blue. Add a block, empty block. I like to, in this case, add the 33, third by third by third block. Okay. And then add an element. So let's just add a video. I'm going to pick a video that I already have. And then go to the green, click on it, and then change the sizing. So you can make the sizing the way you kind of want it to be. Okay, that's my recommendation on how to do that. It's up to you. You don't have to do it that way. You could do it the entire full screen. I just find that videos that are just like a bit more concise, it just looks better, I think. Would that be in branding? Tracy asked, would that be in branding? What would be in branding? Live videos. Yeah, live videos. I've not tested that feature, to be honest, to be able to give you an honest answer. So I would just test it. The only thing that I do know, and I did check it out, is when you look at the live videos, this is live stream. Okay, so obviously to Facebook and YouTube. This is webinars for people who are not customers, like anybody, like what we're doing right now. And live classes is with your actual clients, basically, like a weekly check-in call, coaching call with your clients or whatever it is.
You know about the live?
Yeah, live is, I think you could do it however you like it, basically.
In terms of Zoom and having our own Zoom account to do past interviews, and now that we have access to Zenler, who has Zoom, can we actually do podcast interviews that we could record through the live?
Great question. So my understanding, and this is something to test, is that with Zoom, they still have their limitations. They don't, Zenler doesn't automatically pay for your Zoom account because you're with Zenler. It's just that they got the streaming connected. What it means is that you can create, you'll see when you're creating Zoom, like I actually did that today for the first time. I created a registration page for Zoom, which everybody on this call would have seen. That registration page is pretty basic and doesn't have a lot of customization. What Zenler lets you do is you can actually create a really good registration. So let's say here's the one that I actually created for this, and I ended up abandoning it, but I created the pages, and you can see the registration page is a lot more, a lot more customizable, basically. Okay, that's really the difference that I could see so far, and that's pretty much it. That there is no, you still need to have a Zoom account to use this. Whether you use a paid one or not, that's up to you in terms of if Zoom has their limitations. I think if you do a group call, you can only be on the call for 40 minutes and you only have a limit of 100 people, stuff like that. So, yeah.
So you did that, you set this up as a webinar and you're recording it where?
Zoom. The
But
recordings happen on Zoom.
So where are you going to go and find this recording once you finish it?
Once I end the video, it will automatically render and it will be saved on my computer.
Oh, okay. So it goes to your computer.
Correct. And then in this
But-
case, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. In your case, you might upload it to a course on Zenler, for example.
Right. But if I was, you said that there's a 40-minute limit, right? We've been on here longer than 40 minutes.
That's because I'm on a paid account.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Okay. So a paid account. Right. Okay.
I paid for Zoom literally a few hours ago just for this.
Oh, so you have, I'm sorry, I don't know that I'm clear. You have a paid Zoom account and you're using Zenler's Zoom?
No, I'm not using Zenler Zoom for this. I paid for Zoom.
Oh, I see.
I paid for Zoom. I paid for Zoom paid plan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Aaron, can I ask some questions? This is Veronica.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm sorry I missed part of it. I did plug in because I had to drive my daughters, but now I'm back.
That's okay.
Where I can really pay attention. So when it comes to the actual courses, I was playing with it, yesterday when I purchased it. And there were a couple questions I had in terms of stacking the lessons. One of which is, I really don't want, I wanted to separate, let's say different parts of the lesson. So I realized that by dropping in text, I could just make a line. The next text, I could say part 1, and then I could include content, just like kind of stacking them.
Yep.
Then I could put text again for another line and then say part 2, right? And then stack them, right?
Yeah.
But what I didn't really like were both the course quiz and the assignment felt like they were really locked in, and I didn't know if there was another option. So the example being, I don't want a quiz to be graded or to be to not have text. So in other words, it was limited to yes, no, or you know what I'm saying, the multiple choice or whatever. It wasn't, I couldn't have them submit an answer, let's say, or if I use the word assignment, then it would say, is it text input or file upload? So I chose text input so that they would, do that. But it's I don't necessarily, this is a kind of a self journey that, I wanted to have people be able to answer questions more for themselves, not for me per se.
Yeah.
And so I guess I can just do it as text, but then there's no place for them to write it. So the only place for them to write something is in the assignment, it looks like. And so that might just be something like reflect on this, and then they type it, and then I'm just going to get all this in, I don't necessarily want to receive their assignments, but I want them to feel like it's interactive. So anyway, so what I was wondering is, because the survey obviously took them through a process of survey, next question. So that didn't quite work. So I don't know if there was something I'm missing in those options, or if it's just something that Zenler needs to sort of expand on a bit.
They might need to expand on it, but I'm going to give you a really cool workaround.
Okay.
So this is one of my clients, Gunhild. She might be on a call or watching the recording. This is her worksheets. Okay. Now what she created is really, really cool. And I'll share the link, or I'll get a tutorial made for you and put it in the description of the YouTube channel, the YouTube video on the recording. You could see she basically created a worksheet, and she created it in a way where your people can actually download the PDF and actually type their answers inside.
Okay.
Right. Which I think is this super cool.
And so that's really for them to keep versus having it be coming to me. So I do something similar to her. It's more of a process for themselves, not for me. So what I would do is I would download or upload a downloadable form, but the form's a PDF that happens to have a space for and filling in.
That's right. So PDF is if you want it to be visible but not downloadable.
Right.
download if you want them
Right.
to download it, or do both if you want to show them, give them both.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit, honestly, I know this sounds really kind of paranoid, but I'm a little bit hesitant about having too much of my content downloadable. I know people can literally just, you know, copy it and then repaste it and all of that, but I just don't necessarily want all my content downloadable for them to have. But I could have the PDF be a question, you know, just the question part of it with, you know, maybe the key points that I've covered, the question, and then they can download it and fill it in, or print it out and fill it in.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So that's a choice factor, you know, like in some niches, it can be, maybe you should be paranoid about people downloading your stuff. And in some cases, in my niche, I'm in the digital marketing niche, everything is available online. There's nothing, you know, I might have my own paid content, like stuff that I've shared to today's session. This is stuff that I would sell typically in a course, but honestly, there's nothing proprietary about it. You know what I mean? So it's a choice factor, and depending on.
Yeah, and then and so that was the other thing, is that it didn't look like, because when I was looking at the drip content, for example, I don't necessarily want, I plan to drip each week, let's say every Sunday I'm going to unload a lesson, you know, drop a lesson. But in that lesson, there will be, say, 5 parts that they can do at their own pace during that week. And so that's why I was trying to figure out, like, I couldn't do sub lessons that would be dropped with the lesson. I have to really stack it in my content to look and be separate.
Right. Yeah. So you would just create different modules if you wanted to open it up that way, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. And then you can set up a notification as well on the email. When you drip it, you can actually set up that they get a notification, an email.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All righty, let's see. When doing live class for your students, is it automatically recorded? No, it's not automatically recorded, Becky. You need to click on the Zoom record button for sure. I've seen a tutorial about that. I'm positive that's what you need to do. Jeff said, I use live videos all the time. Super easy. That's awesome, Jeff. I'd like to do a live video from my phone when I'm away from the computer. I have the free level on Zoom, so no cloud recording through them. Yeah, that's tricky. I get it. Yeah, you need the paid plan for the Zoom recording for the cloud, I'm pretty sure. Jeff, there's a question for you on, is your calls recorded? If so, how and where? I'm pretty sure I could answer on his behalf. If you're doing it on Zoom, you need to record it yourself. If you're streaming directly to YouTube or Facebook and it's there, you can simply download your YouTube video or the Facebook video, basically. And if you don't know how to do that, you simply go to your friend Google and you click on download YouTube video and you open up the first thing that comes up, paste the video, convert it, download it, and it's done, basically. Yeah, whatever is on Facebook, you can download. Whatever is on YouTube, you can download. Cool. All righty. We're coming close to 2 hours on this. I hope everybody got value. Let me know if you've got any other questions. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is, I don't even have a survey ready. I do want to have a survey. I'll tell you the URL it's going to be at. Right now, it's just password protected, so you can't see it. It's going to be dotcomtruths.com/Zenler1. And I'll just create a little survey quickly after this. I'll also email it to everybody. I would just appreciate feedback on what you got from this, or what you thought could be done better, or whatever. You know, give me some feedback. This is actually the first group coaching call I've ever done myself. I've been invited once to do a group thing, probably like 2 years ago, and it was not interactive like this. And I wasn't even like, I didn't organize or anything. And otherwise, maybe I did a couple of coaching calls like with 3 people. You know what I mean? So like, I've never done this type of a setting. So I'd love any feedback. So I'll do a little survey and give it to you. I'll appreciate that. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. If you have anything else, that's pretty much it. So I'll stop recording.